everybody, and welcome to another weekly update video. Hopefully you've all had a good week and you're looking forward to whatever the weekend holds for you. So in terms of Azure news this week, we've had a few announcements. So generally available when the Azure Firewall Manager, which gives you that central repository to manage your firewalls and your configuration for them as well. We've also had some announcements in terms of preview services and some upgrades as well. So in the Azure Security Center, there's been new recommendations added around Azure Arc, SQL Server in terms of data security, some NSG rules for internet-facing devices, and I think there was a couple other as well, but there's definitely a lot of information being added into Security Center and making it more useful to you as a consumer. We also saw Azure Migrate launch the ability to assess your workloads specifically in terms of hosting them within the Azure VMware solution. So you can now assess your VMware environment on-prem and then look at what it would directly look like if you were to use the AVS service within Azure. So yeah, definitely more information coming around all of those, but I'll post some links in the description below if you want to check that out. So for me, it's been a fairly busy week in terms of community interaction. So I've spoke at 3 different user groups. The first one was the very first ever East Sweden Microsoft user group. And it was an honour to actually be their first speaker and be asked to attend. And it was a super useful and interactive session, and hopefully everybody enjoyed it. The second user group that I actually spoke at was one based in Singapore, and I was talking about my favourite subject, data centre migrations and Azure Migrate. That was actually live streamed to YouTube as well as being a kind of Teams meeting, so the video is available for you to go and look at if you didn't catch that and if you want to tune in as well. My third meetup was one based in Wales, and I slightly changed topics. I was actually talking about monitoring in Azure. So that was a very high level, very introductory type session, just to give everybody a flavour of what Azure Monitor can actually do and what capabilities that it has, and just to try and think about it and think about what you're doing with that space when you're actually in Azure and in the cloud. So it's been really good fun. I've got a couple more engagements to do next week. I think actually when you look at my calendar, I'm probably speaking at a user group at least once every week in July. But I'm really looking forward to interacting with the community and sharing some of my knowledge and getting some really great feedback and questions from them about our products and services. So yeah, it's really good fun. Make sure you check out my speaking calendar, which is on my blog at techielass.com/speaking, and sign up for any of the events and tune in with me there as well. I am actually off today again. It's my third Friday off. Next week I go back to having a 5-day week, so it'll be a bit of a shock to the system. But one of the good things about that means is I'm actually working on Friday, and I've scheduled the live stream of this call. So rather than do the pre-recorded video that I've been doing the last couple of weeks, I'm actually going to be live streaming it on YouTube. So head over, the links and the details should be below. Head over, set that reminder bell, make sure you tune in next week, and it'd be lovely to see you. Love to hear some questions, get some interaction, and get some feedback from things that I'm doing and saying as well. So definitely tune in. It'd be great to have you and have that interactive session next Friday as well. The other thing that I did this week was actually order that wee Ruby, I think I'm pronouncing it right, kind of IoT sensor that monitors temperature, air humidity, movement, and there's a few other things that it can collect the data around. I'm not sure where that project's going to go. It hasn't arrived yet, the sensor, but I'm definitely going to look at trying to monitor what happens within this room. It gets quite hot, gets quite stuffy. I want to see how I can manage that, what it looks like on certain days, etc. So yeah, it's a bit of a geekery, but it's a little bit of a side project, so it'll be fun to have a look at all of that. So yeah, like I said, everybody, hope you're staying safe and staying well, and you can enjoy whatever the weekend holds for you, and I'll catch you next Friday. Be there or be square.